This is Between Hooksets. I'm Jason Walter from In Through the Outdoors with my partner in slime, Kurt Underhill from the fishing crew.
What is up, dude?
Well, I think my hook set was right on the money, but I will go watch it, and it'll be hook set, and it's always delayed, and I don't know why.
You work your best to time that.
I have tried and tried, but it's kind of like when you start the thing. You hit go live, and then you got to wait until it tells you you're live. But then sometimes I wonder if we could go live after you hit the first button. Nobody really cares, right?
Yeah.
So are you guys in that 6 to 10 inch snow range for the weekend here?
You know, I haven't even looked.
Doesn't matter.
It's not tournament season, so
Yeah,
I hate the weather.
it is what it is. It's March.
You hate
right?
the weather.
Bring the snow, bring it on. We got to have it anyway because we got to have the moisture. And frankly, we probably, if they want nitrogen, we want snow anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll take it. I bet that's Uncle Lou. How do you do? You know, tonight's another one of those really good nights. Tom Goodmestead, Crappie T, suggested that we get Damon on the show. And I'm like, you know what? That makes a ton of sense. I started watching him do his lives when he and he'll tell me who I can't remember, Die Hard Angling. I started watching their stuff, and they're just sitting there tying stuff, BSing, doing whatever, you know, and they got 8 million people watching, and they're, you know, doing, and, you know, it was so much fun. And so when Tom said you should have Damon on, I'm like, you know what? We could do that. Let's have Damon on. You know, we've been doing the young guns here, and Damon is a young fellow from Wisconsin, has done the thing for, I think, the last couple of years. We'll get the details from him, but this year he's going pro. So let's bring him in and let's start this conversation.
Yeah, he's a pretty good guy. When I met him, other than his company wasn't that great, hanging out with old coons. There's a shout out right away, Jeremy.
Jeremy's probably listening to this, and his first reaction is probably just sitting there on his phone, just cackling right now. He's laid back on the couch and just, probably eating some Wisconsin cheese curds and laughing right now. So,
but room temperature cheese curds, right? The only way to eat Wisconsin or any cheese curd is room temperature. If you're just taking them out of the fridge, got to be room temperature.
Well, do you guys know the trick to know if cheese curds are fresh?
Squeak.
No. Oh, you would say squeak. Yeah.
Squeak. Yeah. So when you go to the fresh cheese places and you grab a bag, you take a bite, and if it doesn't sound like the most horrific rat or mouse in your house getting trapped, then it's not good enough cheese.
Yeah. Well, there's just nothing better than the freshest room temperature cheese curds. I've always eaten them cold because I thought you ate cheese cold, but now, you know, the crazy thing is I'll sit there with slices of provolone or white sharp cheddar. I'll put them in my hand till they're warm and then roll them up and eat them. I'm weird that way.
I don't think it's weird. I know exactly.
Oh yeah, right, Dimmick. Yeah, you forget about those. Scott. They're fantastic.
I will tell you, we don't take any food advice on this show from Jason Walters. His go-to fishing sandwich is a peanut butter and bologna sandwich. It is not good.
It's even better grilled.
Did you say peanut butter and bologna? I wanted to hear that again.
Correct.
Yeah, peanut butter and bologna. Yes. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they are fantastic together, especially grilled. I've started grilling them. I've got a gluten allergy, so the gluten-free bread's really dry. Like, really, you could drink all the water in the lake and still not get enough water eating a gluten-free sandwich. But no, when you grill them, they're tasty. They're good.
Look, I'm a bigger guy myself, and even I'm not doing it. Ain't no way. I'm not even trying. I mean, I'll take your word for it, but there's no way I'm trying.
Come on, I'll make you one sometime.
Doesn't work.
You'll be in. I'm in Mobridge. You'll be in Mobridge. I'll have one ready for you.
All right, you know what?
You just taste it, one bite.
For the people, I'll try it.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into you. I honestly don't know how yes, I do. You know how I stumbled upon you, Cade Malone.
Yes. Cade, and to be honest with you, I have no idea how Cade and I ended up kind of crossing paths. I think it was just social media.
Sure.
And, he interacted with some of my stuff on Facebook. We ended up on Snapchat. And now we talk here once in a while and just kind of stay in touch. I have no idea where that connection came from, but I guess social media and its powers do that.
You know what?
Isn't that something? Yeah, the powers is right.
I say it all the time. We make some of our best friends because this crazy thing called a fish.
Really do. Think about that. Think of all the people that you have met once you got into the National Walleye Tour, and as a I mean, didn't your list of friends, I guess, in the walleye world just explode?
The network that was created through being a and just advertising it and throwing the content out there for it, yes, it really has exploded. It's been a really good connection piece for me, and just allowing me to. The amount of people is crazy. I mean, I talk to industry pros, companies. It's crazy the reach you can get just from being a co-angler.
And the thing is the people you talk to on a daily basis now came from that.
Yeah.
Right.
The team that I traveled with last year, Brett Gilbertson, Jeremy Kuhn, Wayne Van Dyke, Craig Sleeman, Connor Fox, those guys, I talk to them religiously now. I bought Eric McCoy's boat, which, some people know. I talk to Eric very frequently. Dre Curd was my first ever pro that I fished with. Well, Brett was, but day 2 of Erie 2 years ago, Dre Curd. Now I talk to him quite frequently. It's really crazy how that kind of just overlaps now.
Here, let me pop that up real quick. There you guys are. I'm gonna show the rest of the pics. You got Dusty Minky there too, and Jake here. Jake, right? And
yep, Jake Bell.
Yeah. Yep. So, you've been kind of all over, right? I think the oops, and then we get a hang on. Let me back out of that once. Charlie says, great group, was happy to meet you in Dunkirk and get to know you. Yeah, Dunkirk all the way up there in New York. Yeah, Wayne Van Dyke, dude's a Wisconsin stick, right?
Wayne Van Dyke?
Yeah.
He's Michigan State. Michigan.
He's Michigan? I don't know why. I guess I've always thought he was a Wisconsin guy.
No, I think the catch or the tag for him is the Hubbard Lake Walleyes, I think is what it's called up there by Alpena.
Okay.
That's where he's out of.
Yeah, I was going to say when you said that, I was going to correct you, but then I'm like, I'm probably wrong. I thought he was not. I didn't think he was Wisconsin guy. So, but
yeah, I don't know why I had that in my head. That aren't there a few Van Dykes? And I always think they're Wisconsin for some reason.
Well, we do have Van Dyke near Bago, which is kind of like a sub town. So yeah, I don't know if that would correlate, but
that could be it. So before.
Let's get a little backstory on you and who you are, where you came from, and how the hell you got into fishing.
Well, I guess I jumped into this head first, as simple as I can put it. I didn't grow up with tournament background. I didn't really have somebody that did it before me. It's kind of just I was always competitive growing up, and I kind of fell in love with fishing and more in depth. I always loved to fish, but in college I fell in love with kind of the travel aspect and the content creation and the curiosity of fishing new bodies of water and learning. And then all of a sudden I seen the opportunity to be a co-angler in tournaments. Now I couldn't necessarily fish every weekend for tournaments because I was going to college and working full time at the same time. So I didn't really have that direct bond. And then all of a sudden my schedule came up and I was like, you know what? I got the opportunity. I'm just going to do it. So I jumped in head first, right into the co-angler side, couple of years. And now I'm jumping in head first again, right into the pro side after 2 years. It's not the most traditional way that you hear people come up in the tournament scene. And I think that's what's awesome about it. I'm learning as I go and, just up for the challenge. And that's as simple as I can honestly put it without getting super long-winded. I could tell you about all the sports I grew up in, the transition from college to shooting billiards competitively to, on the weekends or Thursday nights or league nights, whatever, like, there's always something that I was throwing my hat into, but then it just kind of came full circle. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go full time, or I shouldn't say full time, but I'm just going to do the full tour and just learn, adapt, and have fun as I go. And that's what it's created now to this day.
Well, if you got the job that allows you to do it and you can take the time off, what the heck, right?
Well, and, I don't usually say this publicly because it's kind of one of those things, but I actually work in the Wisconsin prison system, believe it or not.
Okay.
So I have a very untraditional job for somebody that wants to pursue professional tournament fishing. A lot of these guys are more self-employed, take off when they want to, quote unquote. Some people have, traditional jobs too, but I work a 2-2-3 schedule, so I'm actually off half the year, and then I get vacation on top of that. So I'm very fortunate to be able to do that. And then, just personal life stuff, I have some really good backing that allows me to, branch off of that as well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that is way out there. I wouldn't have guessed it.
I mean, for my size, it kind of makes sense,
Yeah, I was going to say, you look like you could be a security guard or I mean, it's not like somebody's going to mess with you or anything.
Well, they definitely do, but I enjoy I enjoy a lot of it. It's actually not what you see on Netflix and stuff. So,
yeah, right. A trapper here says that the two of you would be intimidating. Yeah, no doubt.
We walked into, if he and I walked up to a cell front, everybody's coming out. Like,
right.
So, but we hear all this hubbub of co-anglers and the change of, you really didn't fish it before live scope was a thing, but we hear, oh, co-anglers suck, co-anglers this, co-anglers that. I want your perspective of 2 years now that live scope's a thing. What is that like? And has it been a challenge? Has it been upsetting? Is it, obviously I don't want you to name any pros in particular, but because I know you probably have good ones and bad ones out there, but, tell us about the co-experience. Like if somebody wants to be a co-angler, what do you expect?
Well, I guess I'll start off by saying the co-angler side is nothing but a rewarding experience as long as you take it for what it is. If you have a positive outlook on it, whether it's you had a bad day, your pro wasn't exactly the nicest guy, or maybe he did sit up on the front of the bow live scoping all day, and you were there to net fish or whatever, like take it for what it is and do your learning. Like you are joining the University of Professional Walleye Fishing. And we talk about it all the time. You're sitting at the front of the bow, the coes are sitting in the back of the boat. And to be honest with you, a lot of that's not true. My experiences with the scopers in general is a lot of the time I either had a scope in the back of the boat or I was actively blind casting or just trying to manage some kind of lines to keep lines in the water and, just actively doing my part. And with that, I was visually learning or trying to ask questions during that process so that I was able to implement it in my own arsenal, later if I came home and did it or next tournament or just banking all that knowledge that I could. But I've also been in the boat with trollers or the Mississippi River where you're throwing river rigs and willow cats. And the perspective is you only hear bad news, right? You don't hear the good stuff that comes from it. And that's kind of why I started to, put that out there because nobody talks about how good you can have it as a co-angler. You show up, learn a couple of techniques over the 2 days that you're fishing there, and all of a sudden it's like, all right, I banked all that info. You go to the next one, you learn some more. You go to the next one, you learn some more. If you go there and think that this is going to be you in the back of the boat just nailing fish or having the best time of your life, I'll tell you it's not like that. It's not a guided trip. These guys are fishing for $100,000 or whatever their payout is, And you kind of have to just respect that and do what you can to be an asset in the back of the boat. If they're handing the rod off to you, gladly take that rod, secure that fish, help that guy make the top 10, right? If you're able to catch a fish in the back of the boat, awesome. You are helping that pro. I've had numerous instances where, my first year, I was scared. I was timid, nervous. I got seasick. Like all these variables. And it seemed like, oh, I'm in way over my head. And then when I changed my perspective, like, well, what did you learn? All of a sudden, all that information started flooding in. And it's like you open the gates. You can take in so much. And then that second year, I traveled for the full year. And all of a sudden I was practicing. I was working time management. I was working bait choice. I was working practice spots, with Brett. And all of a sudden it kind of came through like full circle, right? So it's always what you make of it. And I think that's in any situation. Does that kind of help you a little bit?
100%.
It's like the light bulb went off, right? I mean, all of a sudden, boom, you're in that place, and you're so mentally you're zoned and ready for the pro season this year.
To be honest with you, I don't think I am ready, but what I am is up for the challenge.
Okay. Yeah. That's being honest. I like that.
And
some of it, like you said, is I've coached a few people. Drew Shoots. You probably know Drew from the circuit. He went on the coast side, and I told him before he got there, I said, you need to go into this for what it is. It's a learning lesson. If you're traveling thinking you're going to cash a check as a co-angler, you're completely wrong. Is it nice when you do? 100%. But you need to go in and learn everything you absolutely can learn and take it for what it is. And you're going to have good pros. You're going to have bad pros. But if you're in that boat, like you said, your job is to help that pro, then you've got everything you need out of it and learn something every trip.
100%. I actually just see a comment from Ashley. Ready is a decision, not a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Couldn't be more true.
We got a few before we dive into the next thing here, because I've been skipping over a few of these because there were questions and I didn't want to interrupt your story. So I'll let Jason read some of these off. And
all right, Rip and Lip Adventures. Hope to see you at Garrison Marina for another round of Pride Dairy ice cream here in Garrison this year. Damon Championship, baby.
I mean, I will definitely take some of that Pride Dairy ice cream. I think we had a couple practice days there. It was hot when we were there a couple of years ago. That was actually the first time I traveled and practiced, and I think I was there quite a bit. I think I got one both days while I was sitting watching weigh-ins. So absolutely, if I make that championship, take my money. I will go for it.
Royce says, what's traveling with Sleeman like, a.k.a. the red squirrel? No, I hadn't heard that before.
Well, I mean, you call him the red squirrel. I kind of call him the woodpecker, right? He's always on go mode, and when he's stationary, he shakes. But also when he's going, he's always racing. Craig Sleeman is an awesome dude, super funny. Always tried to stay super dialed in, and he's just a knowledge consumer. He's awesome. I love traveling with Craig.
Here's our next.
All right. Chad says, we want to know the truth. Does Max Wilson burn in the shade like a true ginger?
I mean, to be honest with you, I couldn't even tell you, Chad. I don't converse with Max a whole lot. I've always went up, said what's up, and had a couple of conversations with him. But in person, I mean, you can definitely see the sunglasses line for sure. I will say that.
All right, so I'm gonna take a right turn here real quick because I keep looking at Kurt. I'm like, is it Joey Fatone night, Kurt?
Oh.
My lighting, both of you there.
That's what I did wrong. Hang on, I did the wrong button.
Oh, he did the wrong button.
Uh-oh.
I couldn't figure out why my face was so dark, and it's usually lit up. There we go.
Oh, there. Okay.
The wrong thing.
All right.
So, I'm just going to scroll through some comments here quick so we can.
Oh, here's a good one from Crappie T. I put Damon rod and live scope in hand, and he was a great asset. We had a super great time.
Who's Crappie T?
So
Why
that's
should I
Tom
know?
Goodmestead.
Okay. That's what I was going to say. I was like, I know who that is, but yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like, so now you've done 2 years as a co-angler. You traveled full time last year. What are you doing to prepare for your upcoming season?
It really started with getting the boat ready. I did some inventory. I made sure that, I took account of what I had, what I needed. And that goes from safety equipment to line to baits to map everything in the boat. I think that's where it started off. And then, map research, bodies of water research. You're constantly on every forum you can get, any YouTube videos you can get. I'm a consumer of all knowledge. Listening to podcasts and, what a traditional guy usually does is you're always looking for a next clue or, reaching out to your resources. Brett is over on Erie a lot. Jeremy Kuhn has a cottage on Oahe. I'm, diehard angling and myself spend a lot of time on Green Bay. So the schedule is, pretty catered to the team of individuals that I got. So we got knowledge rolling in and out all the time. But it's just physically preparing, mentally preparing, and gear preparing. And I think that's, kind of standard. I don't really want to give too many secrets of, behind the scenes stuff, but.
Well, okay. So what's your event you're most excited for this year?
Actually the first one. It's, I have all that anticipation, first one, first pro event, the first jump, just putting that first fish in the live well on day one. That's what's circled on my mind right now. And I think it's just all the anticipation, excitement, nerves, pressure. It's just all there. And I'm hoping that, that I alleviate some of that, but that's what I'm excited for the most, I think.
Yeah. Well, we got a question here, and I think this is a loaded question because it comes from Brett. Who's your favorite pro?
Well, no, it's Brett. It definitely is Brett. Brett was the first guy I ever fished with, and now we talk daily. Hands down, he's my favorite pro. He's like my fishing dad, and there's no other way to answer that. Jeremy Kuhn, Craig, all those guys, they're all my guys, but I gotta say Brett's my favorite.
It's pretty cool, the camaraderie that happens within something that's super competitive.
So, Rip and Lips Ventures, did you pay extra for the old waypoints on that graph?
Trust me, I tried, but he factory reset those things so fast.
Of course. Who's Brett Gilbertson? Good one, Trapper.
Rip and Lips, are you planning on streaming live in your events in the NWT next year?
So I would love to, and I've kind of been working on it a little bit, getting the equipment. I've talked to a couple of guys about the Starlink setup, battery setup, camera setup. I don't know if I'll necessarily have it ready for Erie just because of, all the moving parts. But even if I don't stream, all the events, you definitely, if you guys follow me, you'll definitely have some opportunities to watch me live stream some Green Bay stuff and some local stuff. But I'm not certain, but I'm definitely trying because I think it's definitely something that needs to come to the industry.
So let me ask this: with the live streaming, I know they changed the rules. Have you dug into it? If your stream stops, can you restart? Is there, because I know last year it was, up until this year it was, you can only stream day 2, and if your stream goes out, you're done.
So new rule in effect this year. You can stream both days, and once you start it, if it stops, it says in the rules you can take a brief moment to restart it. Don't quote me exactly how it's written, but it is a brief moment where you can restart it. So if I'll be honest, if my stream goes out, I think, once it's started, I'm hoping you hit play and it keeps going. If it goes out while I'm, working fish or working a pod or drifting, am I going to stop what I'm doing to go back there and restart it quick? Probably not. But if I get a chance to, get up and all of a sudden I see it, then I'll try to restart it. But that's not going to be exactly the only thing on my mind or the first thing.
Stay focused. Fish, man. Stay focused and fish. Yeah. That live stream and stuff, that's nice. It's fun. It's great, whatever. But when you're out there to fish, you got to fish. It always makes me nervous, the more people talk about live streaming during the tournament.
Well, and if you watch the bass guys, like, love him or hate him, Chris Zaldane probably does one of the best live streams. But his wife sits in the trailer all day and runs controls. So all he's doing is fishing. They've got the Starlink mount on the boat. They've got the right equipment, which, by the way, is not a cheap endeavor.
No.
And it's not easy to run a live stream. People think it's, you just hit the button. And yes, it is. You can grab your cell phone, hit go live on Facebook. But to do it in more of a professional atmosphere, you need somebody back running controls. You need somebody changing your cameras, changing this. And if you watch any of Chris Zaldane's stuff up until this year, and I haven't watched anything this year because they completely changed how that works. They're allowing them to stream, but it goes through Bassmasters instead of their own outlet, which they tried to get rid of completely. And they finally fought to where it got that way. But they have people running the stream.
Right. Yeah, it's not like it's not like look at Tom Wynn. When Tom's putting in his boat, he's doing the whole thing. It's in the boat. It's doing the deal, and you're at the mercy of what happens. I mean, you don't know if it's going to go dark or not. Hello.
Yeah.
That was a little practice.
Went dark a little bit.
Yeah, that was a little practice dark. Sorry, I should have popped this up. Okay, I'll quit. So, let's because we want to talk about head to head. You know what? Let's do that right now. I was going to say let's talk some equipment, but and then I pop this up right when I'm itching my eye, and we get a comment. But you did the head to head thing, and I talk about that a little bit because they're done too, right? Oh no, is it head to head that's done? Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Head to head is done. It was Die Hard Angling and I. He reached out and he's like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know if I can do it with my schedule at the NWT, but let me look at it." And after him hawing around, I was like, "All right, you know what? Let's just make it work." And I'll say that was probably the most fun I've had in a boat in pressured situations that you can. You got a camera guy in the boat. You are trying to catch every fish that you can, weigh them appropriately, all in a timely manner, so that you can stay efficient. And that the camaraderie of guys that did that too was super fun. That was kind of the introduction to me a little bit too, with the whole live streaming and people getting to see my personality. That was kind of a bridge for me when people started recognizing who I was and stuff like that. But that was an awesome format. Every fish counts. You weigh, or how I guess you're live streamed, you weigh and release, and then you go back fishing. It's high stress, high intensity, and then there's a couple events that were just really bad, but it comes with the territory.
Wait, so that's what kind of brought your personality out then? You've always had the personality, but to do everything in front of a camera, that's a whole different world, right?
Yeah, anything in front of a camera, everybody always has camera shyness, but all of a sudden you got this big shoulder camera, 2 inches, 6 inches from your face while you're fishing. All of a sudden it's like, yeah, everything goes out the window of what comfortability is. And a lot of the time they're not guys that very well, and they're just up in your grill getting whatever shots they can. And I'm a guy in the boat. I like to joke around. I like to have fun. I like to talk. And a lot of the time they were able to show that, even with, there's a couple moments where the commentators were talking and you missed some of my like
The
best
best
comments that I would make, but there's definitely moments where I still got some guys messaging me saying there was an instance on Bago where Die Hard caught a hat and I caught a rug or something. I don't even remember what it was, but we both thought they were fish and we are like reeling them in quick, and it was a hot and heavy moment, and they were 2 pieces of trash. So it was, I mean, that was all captured, and it was just, it's all fun.
Yeah, that's a ton of fun when you get to do that. Kurt Reef and I were out on Francis Case, and I thought I had a big one. I'm not kidding you. I thought it was a big one, and it was extra large Under Armour hoodie.
I bet it was fighting back too, right?
Oh, it was. I'm not kidding you. I thought it was a fish. You bring it in a little, you fiddle with it, and I thought it was live. Crappie T says it's totally what the National Walleye Tour needs is live streams. Only way to get it big. People don't want to see a fish. They want to see the day, the struggle on everything, and it's the only way. Yeah, I get that. It's so tough. The Starlink thing is probably going to help change things, but here again, you've got more equipment, you got things in the way, with maybe the way you're fishing. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see who really picks up on it, and whether the Masters Walleye Circuit or National Walleye Tour or whoever gets it going.
Well, it's that, and it's also like, love Tom Wynn. One of the greatest human beings you'll ever meet. Well,
Yep.
Can't say enough about him. But when he did his live stream and I watched it, and he's running down the river, and it's just, and I you gotta mute it. And that's where somebody controlling can push the mute button. And when you're making your run, you're not hearing that noise. And you can do these things to make it, a lot better user experience. It's not about what, for the stream, you got to worry about fishing, but if you're trying to do it great, you have to worry about the end user, but the fisherman can't do that. So how are you going to mute a mic? You're going to remember to mute a mic every time you take off to go somewhere? It's hard.
No.
To do.
I think if you can figure out a way to, curb some of that, less ideal situations, it would definitely work. And it's a great attribute to have. But I don't think it's the end all be all. I don't think that's going to be the reason that it gets big. I think there's a lot of things that anglers and the industry need to do way before live streaming, but I think it's just, bringing some stuff to light, or just giving just different avenues for people to see it.
Right.
Yeah. I'll tell you the number one thing that can make walleye big, for walleye anglers to talk about what they're actually doing and share knowledge. That will change the whole industry, and not say you were flipping this bait when you weren't. I get it. You got sponsor contracts. I understand it, but you've got to go to your sponsor and say, I'm not going to throw a Northland puppet minnow every cast. And until that happens, people want knowledge. Just like you, when you went to become a co-angler, you were a sponge and you wanted knowledge. Mm-hmm. That's what you were looking for. So if we don't give that, we're never going to build the new you. We're never going to build these new guys, because it's such a struggle to get any knowledge in this industry.
Correct.
I think that's why I enjoy your videos when you and Die Hard Angling are on your Gohlke Outdoors, and you guys go live. You're tying stuff. You're talking about what you're using. You're talking about, you're answering questions, but you're talking about stuff that you're using that currently works, and it's content. It's stuff for us to absorb. It's another idea. It's another way to roll with it. What are you using on the tour for rods and reels and things then?
I kind of have a little bit of a mix of a few things. My primary rods are Mag's custom rods. Pat up in the UP does a great job, great product, and has just about anything you could want. Reels, I mainly stick to Daiwa. Tatulas, Fuegos, Excellers, couple ballistics, but I also don't mind throwing some PC Fun reels on. They're actually made in Daiwa, Daiwa factories, so they have a lot of interchangeable parts. And then line, Suffix, some Seagar stuff. I like Seagar and Vizex leaders. Gear. Take a Fleet Farm or a Shields shelf. Put a shopping cart in the middle and just take your 2 arms and run down the aisle, and as much falls into the cart that can. That's pretty much what I have. There's nothing that I do it again. There's nothing that I stick to. There's certain baits that work better this time of year, as everybody knows. Right now, the river bite is hair jigs, blade baits, plastics, jig and a minnow, right? So I just posted a couple days ago. I had a WNC blade bait on, a tear jerker jig, a Blackbeard tackle hair jig, and then I'll throw, Authentic X is probably my favorite plastic for the De Pere River. Once you get out in the bay, it's more Callan stuff. There's gear for everything. You just kind of gotta do what works. And a lot of guys will sit there and say this is the best thing in the world when sometimes it is, but there's always something that can work. So I like to have a variety. I'm not stuck to any one platform necessarily, but there's definitely stuff that I like more.
So you talk about authentics. Are you a firm believer in chartreuse orange?
Oh, quiet. No, firecracker chartreuse tail. Throw that one.
Yeah, there you go. Chad says, fishermen fish, let them. Like we need another cost to drive people out. Yeah, it's awesome to watch, but let's be real. It's a fishing tournament series, not a TV series. Yeah, I get it. I don't think the tournament needs to have full coverage from beginning to end, kind of like we do. You got a little morning gig, you got the takeoff, and then in between, we've been trying to figure that out. Sometimes we get in places where there's no cell coverage, so you just can't do it. But you get a few fishermen on the line at noon, and they're fishing and talking and telling, and then it's weighing time. But it's that stuff in between. If you can fill in a few things here and there. Gene, see you tomorrow morning. And thanks for watching the show tonight. But yeah, I think we need more. I definitely think that the walleye fan wants and needs more, no doubt. But it doesn't have to be wall to wall coverage.
Yeah. I mean, you look at Bassmasters, and they probably have $1 million production budget for every freaking tournament. It takes that kind of money to make it happen. When Head to Head came out, I had a bunch of guys call me and say, do it. And I'm like, you don't even want to know what it would cost to put a camera guy in a dozen boats. It's a lot of money to have the right gear to go back. It's a lot of money, and I'm like, you would have to, to keep it affordable for the anglers, I'd have to have some sponsor come in with the $500,000 to make it work. Because it's a lot of money to make that work.
It just can't happen on its own. Obviously we spent, what would it be, a little over a year now? Year and 3 months, year and 4 months, whatever, talking about doing some different stuff. And frankly, it looked damn good on paper. I mean, what a great story. Sitting there talking back and forth and, oh my God, this and that, this is going to be great. And then you lift it off of paper and try to make it real and go, can't do it. This is great. Well, look at Head to Head. Look what they did for the sport, right? I mean, you want to talk about, I won't say they did full-time coverage, but they covered it. It cost a lot of money. Could they have done it better? Sure. Did they do it great? I thought they did a very good job at it. It was, but holy Hannah. I guess my main concern is let's not lose walleye tournaments here with Head to Head dropping off, with National Walleye Tour making some changes, Masters Walleye Circus kind of staying the same. It's like, let's not lose stuff. And I think that's really important.
Yeah.
I mean, even Head to Head. I mean, we had, I know what it kind of, what some of those things cost. And just for what do we have? 10 teams. That's 10 cameras. I know what one of those costs. That's just what the upfront camera cost is. That's not fixed TV. That's not the Starlink, we could talk on and on about live stream.
Right.
I'll say that. You could.
It ain't easy. Chad says it's asinine, and that's coming from a sponsor perspective. Even with your pros on contract and with product, sure want to see it, but not wall-to-wall coverage. Yeah, it's things have changed. You know, they aren't the way that they you know, I'm trying, Gene. I'm really trying, but I gotta be honest with you. Getting a hold of them's a pain in the ass.
They're pretty squeaky tight with their money.
Yeah, right. It just, you know, there's so many things I want to say, but I'm not gonna say. Filming a wedding costs more than filming fish. We all know why. Yeah, Bridezilla. And the dad paying for it. Right.
But no, I mean, I can't wait to see what you do this season. It's going to be fun. You're more of a, you know, younger guy that wants to put the content out there. So it's going to be fun to find another place to watch the content. And it's going to be, you know, that's what, you know, like I said, wall-to-wall coverage isn't needed. It's just being honest and being open and being a good person when people come and talk to you. You know, I think the other thing, rough angler there is.
Right. Yeah. Right. But the other thing though is have a, you know, and you've got the personality. You can't just go out there and live stream and this is what we're doing. And I mean, you look at Max Wilson, right? Max got a personality. It shows, and people like to watch him because of it. And you know, you look at guys in the, I think Taco Ito, you know, he's just damn funny. I mean, he's got a great personality. You can hardly understand him, but boy, oh boy, he's electric. And same with Matt Robinson, volunteering.
No, there's not much volunteering in my, you know, I volunteer enough. Let's put it that way. Running a production would not be volunteer work.
That's actually it's actually one of my buddies, Reese. He's replying to Karina's comment earlier, and she said, "That's what you need, Gohlke, a camera girl."
Oh, there you go. Gotcha.
Yeah, no. I'm reading some of these comments. I'm like, oh gosh.
See now there's your deal. You got your camera girl, but the problem is you're going to have a camera girl doing the camera through you because that's what people are going to want to see. So.
Well, I'll probably need a 360-degree camera because I'm going to have some kind of pretty to offset my uglies. That's how that works.
You do have a face for radio. I'm going to tell you that.
Oh, that's about right. We can make it work, though.
Yeah, right on. Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt. You got a little Joey Fatone going, too.
I asked you a little bit ago what your favorite, your one you're looking forward to. Which one are you looking the least what's your least favorite one on the schedule this year?
That's tough. And I'm actually gonna say Gladstone. And the reason I say Gladstone is because I'm a big fish guy. I like chasing big fish, and Hawaii, I guess this is a thing too. But slots. Like I am going to have, I think I'm going to struggle in that like finding fish category where I actually need to find the small ones, because when I go fishing, I like to go where the giants live. I like to seek those out. I like to scope. So I tend to chase after the big marks. So I'm gonna have to slow down and, you know, change a little bit of my fishing style to find some of them smaller fish. So I think the slot in general is going to be the least looking forward to I'll do all year.
No, I understand that too. As I was talking with my buddy Louie about it, because last year we went out, you know, you're chasing the big marks, right? And I'm like, okay, you know, you can only, like, for guys just out fishing, doing the weekend thing, you can only chase big marks so many weekends, so many trips out, and it does start to get boring, especially when they just won't have any of it, right? So it's like, okay, now this year I'm going to concentrate on those slots. I want to find the 17s, the 18s, and the 19s, and learn to find those and pinpoint them and catch them, and not concentrate so much on the big marks all the time.
Yeah, there's going to be a mental game, I think, to it with your decision making about, when you're going to put fish in the box. Now, Gladstone is culling, so that's going to bring a whole different, role into it. You can put your 5 fish in or 6. I'd have to look it up, but you can put them in, and then say I got 6 23 inches in the live well, all right, cool. I got my weight for the day. Now I can go chase, them 30, 31s, the occasional 32 that is up there.
So that's interesting. So they're allowing you to cull. You can upgrade.
Yeah, and it's only 1 fish over 23 inches per person, per angler. So you can have, when you go to the bump sink, you can have 3 fish 23 inches or less, so like 22 and 15 16ths or less, and then 2 above that. So if I catch a 2 28 inchers, I can actually cull out a 30, which I believe is how that works. There's some, I guess.
Yeah. Wow. Kurt,
What's that?
This whole culling thing. This is different. This culling situation.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, if you can call, so if you catch, your 5 23 and 3/4 or 22 and 5 16ths, whatever, 15 16ths, and you catch a 28, you can put it in. But then you catch a 30, you should be able to throw your, you get your 2 overs 23, and then you should be able to keep upgrading. You're going to keep your slots, but you should be able to keep upgrading your big fish. And same thing, if you get a 19 incher in there and you catch a 22 1/4, you're going to throw the 19 incher out and upgrade that one. So yeah, calling is a different, I mean, I guess I'd have to read the rules to be exact, but yeah, it's going to be, that's an interesting concept with a slot and a call. So
what's the date on that? Do you remember?
June 18th, 19th.
All right.
Okay.
Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
So Dave says you'll figure out a wahi, no problem. Yeah, if you can scope trees, if you can scope it, whatever. Yeah, I mean it's not like it's magic or anything in that regard. Roy says in Michigan there's no party fishing, so your co will need to catch 1 over as well.
Yeah, so I guess you'll have to look into the rules. I know the whole handing the rod off thing has been a thing. I guess there's some rules that I would have to look into. I know in Wisconsin it's a thing. There's been a couple events elsewhere, I think, that we've done it. So whether they change that or continue with that, I'm not real sure. We'll know more, more day of, or we'll have to dive into the rules on how that works. But yeah, so if I catch a 28 incher, my co also has to catch one. So that means I would either have to hand the rod off, or that person is going to be up on the bow with me, casting at those fish. So
Chad says, good show. Got to run. And Chad, thanks for watching. Damon, shoot me a text before you get too swamped. Tight lines. # Cold Snap Outdoors. # one suit all seasons.
So we have a question from Ripping.
Sounds good, Chad. Yeah, Chad, thanks for tuning in. I mean, he's not here, but he might watch this back. But yeah, he's from Cold Snap, and he was kind of cool. I am with Striker, but I'm a bigger guy, and Chad and I talked, and he wanted me to try on one of his bigger suits that he got, and one of his prototypes and stuff like that, and just get some feedback from a bigger guy. And we're, I'm just kind of trying to help him with that a little bit. So he's been a cool guy. So
yeah, cool. Rippin' Lip says, did you get that new boat dialed in on the Fox already?
Well, I've only had it one day, or out one day. My work schedule is kind of heavy right now just because of taking off a bunch for tournaments, but we rode it around a little bit. It's definitely, the 400 V10 is definitely I'll say a game changer. There's definitely some torque, so I got to get used to, a little bit of difference, but we've ran some boats. We'll be all right, but we'll get her dialed in. I mean, Eric McCoy did fish with me on Sunday a little bit. And, I got to pick his brain on some setting stuff. He tuned in my electronics a little bit, walk through some of that stuff with him. So we'll be dialed. We'll get her figured out.
What did you run boat?
Go ahead, Kurt.
What's up?
What did you run before this boat if you're going to a 400 now?
You don't want to know. There's a significant difference. It was one of those things like buy once, cry once, and we're just gonna, money game, I guess.
Yeah,
I went and got what I wanted. That's all it is.
There you go. So
you got to do it.
We do have a valid question, which makes no sense in my world either. With this no party fishing thing, I don't. You can talk to me till we're blue in the face. It doesn't make sense to me. If we're pulling crankbaits and what rod goes off and you grab it, but I put it out, so it says if Jason casts the bait and I reel it in, who's fishing?
Ooh, good question.
This whole handing the thing off. South Dakota, we don't have, party fishing. You can party fish. Who cares? Right? Your limit's your limit. Who cares? These states that have this party fishing rule, I just don't get it.
I don't know. I mean, how it was kind of explained was like a parent-kid type situation, I think, or that was the example that a lot of people use. Like if I were to cast a bait out and hook up to a fish and hand it to my kid, is that applicable? I don't know. Like I don't want to get into it. I'm just going to either use it to my advantage or don't use it. I don't want to get into my opinion with it because that could go on forever as well.
I'll make it short and simple. My opinion is stupid. If us three in the boat and we have 3 fishing licenses, who cares how we catch our limit of fish?
True. Your limit's your limit, no matter how.
I'll say I agree. I'll say I agree.
So we do have another question. What electronics are you running?
All Garmin.
I figured when you bought his boat, McCoy's boat, you're having all Garmin.
I would have done that anyways.
Did you order the new toy?
No, I didn't. I didn't. That thing coming out, I'm very particular in doing things the first time. I was a quick hitter, but in buying the PS32, so the original Panoptics, then the 32, then the 34, and I see this, and it just like, I don't know. I've got perspective. I've seen perspective work, pretty dialed in with, I've used both of them. I don't know if the price tag is worth it. That's my initial thought process on that. Yeah, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll see if guys think this is the next big thing. My wallet's ready for it, I think. But I don't know. My first initial thought is I'm like, that seems like just a overpriced. I don't know. I think it's overpriced.
I usually want the toy, and I'm like, nah, I'll pass. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to even think about it yet.
Well, I mean, here's what I look at it as is it looks great on a video.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, it looks great on a video until we can see it on the water and actually be behind it. That could completely change everything about it.
And that's the way it is with everything, right? I don't care if when 2D came out, you saw the video and went, oh, God, that's cool. And down imaging kind of was a little bit easier than side. Everybody's freaking out about side imaging, can't figure out what's what and what's how and how. And then 360 came along, and 360 is great on a basin lake, but you put that, bring that out here to the river. I brought my 360 out to the river in 2016. I put it right back in my pickup and went, nope, can't, you've got drop offs and you've got points. And so you've got all this action, this undulation, right, going on, just like in perspective mode. If you're using perspective mode in a basin situation where maybe you've got weeds, maybe you've got rocks, maybe you've got timber, okay, fine. But you start throwing that in where you're working a point or you're working a ledge that goes from 23 feet down to 80, and you're trying to work the situation. Man, I'll tell you what, it takes a lot of concentration. So Dave says, looks cool, but requiring an additional pole, probably kill it for a lot of guys. Yeah, it looked like a lot of equipment. It looked really cool. I enjoyed the video.
I mean, yeah, I didn't dive into it a whole lot, but I think he's right. I think Dave's right. It's a lot of equipment. We already put enough stuff on our trolling motors or our boats, and it's just like, how much more are we really going to add? I definitely think there's going to be guys that are going to jump on it early, trying to find a way to eliminate the pole. So we'll see, what people can drum up with. But
best damn comment. I don't know. Let me see here once. I'm not set up for it, but that definitely. Yeah. There, Cade. There we go, buddy. Yeah, that was a good question, right there, or a good statement, I guess.
Yeah. Why don't they have a trolling motor with a built-in 34? Yeah, I mean, there's 100% things, but I think once we see it in person, it might change everything. I think the biggest downfall we're going to have is that pole's going to be too short for our trolling motors.
Mm-hmm.
So, party fishing mosquitoes.
Okay, that was a good one too.
I like that guy. He can come in my boat anytime.
So my thing is, if they would have just released an LV 36, 38, whatever, man, I'd ordered one already.
100%. I would have. But what I find funny about Garmin is we have the LVS 34, but they also have the 62, which you don't hear about a lot of guys using. But I bet I shouldn't say it, but if we go back to Huron at some point in the future, if I'm lucky enough to get an invite or continue on, and we go back to Huron, I'm going to buy a 62, because throwing a bait at 150 feet, like a jigging wrap and stuff, without spooking those fish, I bet a lot of guys wish they had that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they need another. I don't know if they need another transducer yet. I still think they're kind of the flagship.
They are.
Yeah.
So it's like, do we really need to bring out another one? Let's wait until the other guys catch up. And then all of a sudden it's like, we're still the best. We're going to put this out. That's what I think is going to happen. But
Crappy T's got how do you keep the black flies off? It's a big secret. He says it's magic.
I've got the magic sauce. I would be interested to know what yours is, Crappie T, but after I found my stuff, I've yet to have a fly touch me.
Dawn dish soap.
Nope.
Dawn dish soap. That's a trick.
Is that's your
That's Brett Gilbertson's trick, and I have adapted it, and that's
it works.
It works.
Mine's a soap too, but it's not Dawn dish soap, and it comes in a 5-gallon pail. And it's not cheap, but I've had mine for my 5-gallon pail, and I sell some of it to people or give some to people. I probably had it for 5 years now, and it works wonderful.
He's not going to tell the secret. He's the one saying guys need to tell secrets, and he's going to keep the secret.
It's called Basic H. And Basic H. It's like $300 for a 5-gallon pail of it. You mix it 50-50. Yep, right here. Linda beat me to it.
Oh, look at that. Linda. Linda.
Yep. I mix it 50-50 with water. I spray the inside of my boat. I'll spray it on my body, and they never touch you.
I'm done.
So
what the heck?
Basic H is key.
Yeah, I wear long sleeves, long pants, and sweat socks up to my calves. I don't ever get bit.
Yeah, you're curving it with apparel.
Turpentine. Yeah, there you go.
Nope, straight up Basic H. It's the best stuff. And I found that doing fishing tournaments. I used to carry Tempo in my trailer to spray the area down to keep the flies off me, and it wouldn't work.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to breathe that crap either.
Yeah,
that or the dairy spray. What is it, F44 or whatever?
Yeah, the first time I got this stuff given to me, I was this close to drinking Tempo, I had black flies from my knees down bleeding, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, I was in a hole, there was no wind, and they were everywhere. And I'm like, I'm gonna. And this guy walks up and throws me this bottle and goes, "Rub this on, they'll go away," and they're gone.
Really?
Yep.
Gene says vanilla extract keeps the gnats off during the turkey season, and you smell good. Yeah, yep, you do. So good, I want to eat you. Yeah, I love vanilla.
It's been a pleasure. It'll be fun to watch this season. We've got a lot of what we'll call young guns coming up. That's going to be fun to watch. And like Crappie T said, go out,
win.
Damon. We're pulling for you.
We're pulling for you, no doubt. No variant preparation age. That's good, Jordan. That's good. Yeah, we all deserve that one. Damon, it's been great to have you on. Thank you much, man. Of course, you'll be in Mobridge. I'm in Mobridge, so I'll find you.
Sounds great. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yep.
And put the word out there. If anybody's got co-angler questions or just questions regarding NWT or really anything, I'm an open book. As much information as I consume, I also like to share. So you guys hit me up for anything you guys need. If you guys have any questions regarding gear, products, I'll tell you what I like, what I don't like, and I'll give you honest, because I'm the guy that I wish some people did that for me. So I want to be that guy for somebody else. And then
fantastic.
Well,
thank you. So here again, this you're looking for Damon in this jersey when he's out and about at tournaments.
Yeah, and you guys will. I was gonna have my boat wrapped. Spoiler alert for anybody that stays in the last minute or whatever. It was supposed to be wrapped on Monday, Tuesday. Big snow's coming in, so we're gonna put that off. I'm not gonna pull it in the foot of snow. It's just not a good idea. So yeah, you guys will see me out there.
Awesome.
And obviously follow my socials too. We'll be giving a bunch of updates, and we got some videos coming up. So we're excited to really, really dive into it.
Fantastic. Good luck.
Appreciate you guys.
Take care. All right. Thank you.